Hello guys, my name is t.rex and this is Jurassic World Evolution, and today we're going to look at Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, let's start from the very first one. And to give you an understanding, we're not going to be looking at the model accuracy because we've already reviewed Jurassic World / Park whatever T.rex. Now what I wanted to say is that I'm generally happy with how it's been animated. There's a few problems with it, and there are several problems. Now first of all, I'm not happy about the fact that it's oversized, because here you may not notice it, but it's ridiculously oversized compared to, say, a Spinosaurus or a Giganotosaurus, even to an Indominus. It's basically the same size as an Indominus, I think, or maybe a tiny bit smaller, which it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be so the same size as Giganotosaurus, basically, in the same league, but it's kind of completely like this head, basically right here, could pretty much, if we were to look at it from the physical point of view, it can bite in, Spinosaurus in half. Now technically oh yeah, there we go, he's gonna snatch the goat. Yums. Hello, goatee. Bye bye, goatee. Anyway, it's supposed to be smaller. That's one thing. The other thing as well is that this skin, it's actually not what the first film Jurassic Park T-rex looks like. This does not, it's not a bad skin, but it's too plain for my liking personally. It's just plain brown, a bit boring for me personally, and it leaves me wanting for those extra grey stripes on top of the back of the head and along the body, or like the patches, whatever that they had in the design. They had a bit more contrast as well between the bottom areas and the soft areas. The head is done alright. I'm quite happy with the head, but it should have these kind of, grayish sort of tint, shadow gray kind of tints on the head and stuff, like in these bits here with the scales and all of that, on these bits here and here and here, and a little bit over here as well. That's what I recall the Tyrannosaurus Rex female looks like. Okay, so but generally I'm happy with the model. It looks quite faithful to what the original was like, although I believe that the legs may be a little too... Well, no, actually I'm quite happy with how it is. I just think it should be smaller. That's all there is to it. Now there are a few other things here I wanted to point out. I'm a bit unhappy with the fact that they made it an introvert, so that means that you cannot populate more than one in the same enclosure. I kind of would have hoped that we would get a T-rex, maybe like at least a pair or something, It would just make it so much more fun to play with. I like the sound effect variation. That's something I'm actually quite happy with. Like, you have a variety of different sound effects, some of which we've never heard before, and I quite like this. It's, on one hand, it's quite faithful to what we know. On the other, it's very unique in some instances. So I like the sniffing animation. I like the quality of the animation in general. That's quite nice. So far I haven't noticed anything that would, make me feel a bit iffy about it. Now I want to see when it starts running, and I want to see what it does when it runs. So if it's gonna start running anytime soon, that would be nice. It's not hungry yet, so doesn't really have any reason to run anywhere unless it's gonna just start randomly wandering around. It does that sometimes, they just run around the enclosures. So let's see if it's gonna start doing it now. No? Yes? No. Okay, never mind. We will hopefully, eventually we're hopefully gonna hit that point where they're gonna start running about, but let's move on to the second skin that we have. So that was the default skin, and we need to find where that T-rex is hiding. There you are. Come here. Now, we need to get him to come out of the shadows, but what we can do is we can go here, And this is the Alpine pattern skin that we have chosen for it. I haven't applied any other mods because there's no point. I'm just doing it for the purpose of the aesthetics and just general look at it. But so far, this one, and there was another skin that I quite kind of like, I guess, but yeah, thank you, T.rex. Anyway, this is my favorite probably in the game so far. Although it's not my all-time favorite T.rex skin, I was very, and I mean very disappointed that we didn't get the skins from Jurassic Park 2 and 3. Although I know they are male and technically they shouldn't apply to these, but I mean, well, I mean, I kind of would have liked to still have the option, you know. Some people would choose to stay faithful completely to the fluff. I would probably be quite okay to just mix them up a little bit. And if only they also had this bar a little bit, you know, higher, like here, so that we could have maybe 2 of them. Or 3, it would be nice, because dinosaurs are generally social animals. They are not complete introverts to our knowledge so far, and tyrannosaurids were no exception of that rule. So far, at least from the interviews we've known from Dr. Philip Currie, and it's been going on for ages, and even in Jurassic Park franchise we've seen them forming families and pairs and all of that. Thank you, T.rex. Anyway, yeah, do you get my point? Like, even movies show them as being perfectly kind of plausible to have this kind of behavior, so it's kind of, it wouldn't be breaking any laws within the franchise canon, so to speak. It would still be canonical. But I do like this skin, actually. This is probably my favorite skin. If only it would come out to the light a little bit. Or shall we just clean up the trees a little bit? Just kinda terraform the landscape a little bit, just to get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it's gonna annoy him or not, but it shouldn't do. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, it's a nice grey kind of tone with a few stripes on top, so if only these grey stripes were on top of that brown skin, this would have made it a lot more faithful to the movies. But they did not do that. So, but this grey one is the one, the Alpine pattern is the one I usually go for. This is my choice of skin most of the times when I produce a T.rex in my enclosures. And now let's move on to the next skin. This is the third skin, and this one they called it Tundra pattern. So let's check out what this Tundra pattern looks like. And I will tell you, this is my other favorite kind of skin. I like it actually even more than the default one. I am kind of on par with it along with this with the original, but I'm a little bit iffy about how they've done the patterning on the head. There's a bit too much going on in here. I kind of wished it would have remained darker here, and maybe the nose would have been a bit more kind of beige, you know, osteodermic sort of beige. Hello, Lindy Beige. Those who subscribe to Lindy Beige channel will know why I referenced the whole beige thing. Anyway, where is the T.rex? Come here. There you are. And I like the tail coloring, I like everything else, I just don't quite like how the head has been done in terms of the coloring. It's a bit too much of everything here. It's like all over the place, a bit too sloppy, and it kind of loses out some of the shapes and details and stuff. Now, no, I mean, that's just my view on it, and I kind of feel like this here like should have been left out a bit lighter, while the darker colors should have been more around, you know, that sort of thing. Some of the transitions on the patterns are a bit too strong, and also you notice that, yeah, well, we will do that at the very end. I will show you one of the things that I've noticed, which I felt was something that annoyed me once I realized what actually happened. Now let's look at this T.rex. Where are you at? Now, this is the step pattern, and let's hide this for now, and let's see the step pattern. Now, I'm not a fan of this personally. I don't feel like this is something I would see, you know, a Jurassic World / Park T.rex look like. It looks a bit too much like a toy, like some kind of cartoonish thing. I also don't like the fact that the pattern breaks apart too much. If it was blended in better, and if the dark colors covered a bit of the front of the leg, the hair of the hip, you know, that would have made it a bit better for me personally. I mean, it's not bad, I just just like it just doesn't feel. Yeah, I don't know. No, maybe it's okay. Okay, hey, hello, Goatee. Hi, Goatee, Goatee. Yum. Anyway, burp. Anyway, do you understand what I mean? Like, it feels like it's kind of a bit too off ski a little bit, and I kind of maybe like osteoderms could have been done a different. Thank you, T.rex. A different pattern, and you know, just kind of introduce a little bit more blending in some areas. I mean, tail could be a bit more kind of you know, broken apart like they did here, but this bit here, I think that this should cover with the dark. This should be a bit more light here, a bit lighter. Maybe a couple patches down here and here would be nice. So I'm kind of, I mean, I'm happy with the skin, but it's not my number one choice. My number one choices would probably be the gray one, the Alpine, and perhaps the second would be the Tundra. So let's move on to the final one. So that will make it 5 skins altogether, and here we are. Now this one here, it's and it's too dark in here, so let's actually bring back the stats, and that's called what's it called? Coastal pattern. Okay, so that's what they called it. Now you know what, I feel like the red bits, the brown red bits are done wrong. Like if they did it, thank you T.rex, and you would agree. Anyway, like the brows themselves, I think they should have been black or like dark brown, while the few inside of the areas perhaps here and softer parts there, and a few areas down here, maybe patchy areas like around along the back, maybe they could have been done in this brick red. But generally, I kind of feel like they messed up a little bit here, in my opinion. Otherwise, it would have actually been my second, well, second best, or maybe just like sharing the first place for, you know, my favorite skin along with that Alpine pattern. So, at the moment, guys, I am more about the Alpine. I think it's the one that kind of resonates with me the most out of the choices, although I still, like, you know, I'm still not quite happy with the skin colors most of the time with what they chose, but the grey one is quite nice. I like grey in general. If it was maybe a little darker, that would have been more kind of my thing. So let me just go back to the Alpine and I will show you wherever that is. There we are. So this is the Alpine. Like if they made it a tiny bit darker maybe, or maybe slightly different tint, I don't know. No, just a bit darker. I would have liked it a lot more. I mean, I still like it, but I would have liked it a lot more if it was a bit darker. But this is kind of almost reminiscent of the idea of the pale sort of, not albino, but you know what I mean. Thank you, T.rex. So, now, there's one thing I wanted you to notice. So you see this Alpine one? And then we go to this one here. You see, it's following the same pattern here. Exactly the same. So it's like a copy and paste pattern, and they just photoshopped whatever, you know, different colors. Then, if we look at these ones here, where are you? There you are. See these ones here? You see the pattern here? Okay. Now, let's go and find this one. Come on out. I like this shot, by the way. It looks really nice. The silhouette in the dark looks awesome. Come on out. Stop hiding from the sun. Okay, now you're just being mean. Come on, get out. Come out. Don't make me tear down the trees. I don't want to harm the trees. Come on. No, you what? Okay. You left me no choice. There. Now. Yeah, it's happy. You see, it's the same pattern exactly like this other one that we've looked at. So they practically copied and pasted the same thing. Now let's go back to the original on the default. And the default, we do not see anything, it's just plain as it is. Which is okay. I mean, I kind of do like the default still, but it's just way too plain. Far too plain for my liking, for the reasons that I've specified already. So that's basically what I think about the T.rex in JW Evolution. Oversized model, some skins just felt like they were a bit lazy because they basically copied and pasted with two of them, just gave different colors and didn't really edit, you know, them, make them more individual. And also I kind of wished for some more sophisticated behavior, probably, because one of the things you will notice as I review more dinosaurs in this game, you will see that carnivores, anything that's basically not a raptor or a Dilophosaurus or a Deinonychus, they are basically pretty much doing the same basic things. They're not exactly that much different from each other. They don't have any individual kind of behavioral traits, you know. They're pretty much just the same AI with different models, slightly different skins, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah. But there we have it. That's the Jurassic World Evolution overview of the T.rex. But let's, before we forget, quickly look here. Okay. Whoa. Hold the phone. 5 meters height. 18 tons. 14 meters length. Guys, there is nothing in Jurassic World or Park fluff that gives us this information. That's so freaking wrong. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I guess I'm done now. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you guys later in the next video. And post your comments down below. Let me know which other creature you would like me to look at from the game. But I will be looking at pretty much all of them in general, so you can count on me doing this anyway. However, if there is any particular one you want me to do sooner than say anything else, then please post your comments below and just let me know what you want me to do, and I'll be happy to do that. It will be the same kind of relatively quick kind of overview, just to kind of give an idea of what this is. We'll obviously look at some of the individual aspects of the game itself as well. And just do that, because why not? Okay, so thanks very much for watching. I've been t.rex. Please hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel for more content. Cheers, bye bye.